Welcome to a brand new podcast. And as always, this is the Oracle 19. And my name is Mr. Greatness. If you want to put your business on this platform, definitely we can help you to expand your business worldwide. And we also now have on staff video producers, generated video producers that can help set up a video for your business, and we definitely will promote your business on this platform as well. So you can email us at evolutionoflondon@gmail.com or the Oracle 19 at the Oracle19radio.com if you want us to help you with your business and expand it worldwide. We're in 72 countries, and we can promote your business locally, anywhere, regional or international, anywhere where your business is located. So email us again at evolutionoflondon@gmail.com or the Oracle 19 at the Oracle19radio.com. And if you want to make a donation to the Oracle 19 podcast, you can, whether it's a $1, $2, whatever you can afford, as we definitely could use your assistance as we expand worldwide, through our PayPal account, evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. We have different links to other affiliates. You can check us out at www.linktree.com/evolutionoflondon. We do have a PayPal account, which we have videos. We have a Patreon account. That's what I meant to say. Excuse me, a Patreon account that we have videos that's not posted on YouTube and digital artwork, and we do consulting services as well. So that's www.patreon.com/Evolution of London. You can shop online to our baby shopping mall, which is evolutionoflondon.com. We have a whole wide range of products, 10,000 products from men's, kids, ladies' clothes, cologne and perfume, and house products in general. evolutionoflondon.com. Also evolutionoflondon.org for custom clothes, accessories, and digital products such as EBooks for personal as well as business use. And finally, evolutionoflondon.store. We have a sneaker collection, as well as clothing, DVDs, games. evolutionoflondon.store. Check out the company Royalty 9 International. They make homemade candles, 100% soy wax, 12-ounce jars, from scented to unscented. Now the scented candles is from frankincense, myrrh, jasmine, eucalyptus, just to name a few. And if you want to place an order, you email the company at Royalty 9 International, and you'll find them on Instagram and TikTok. Royalty 9 International for your luxury candles, over 35 plus burning hours. Very good quality. No one candle is the same. Royalty 9 International. Mr. Will, he's been a fitness consultant for over 15 years. So if you want to book a consultation, you email him at healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. That's healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. And also support his merch, www.wjaaccessories.com. gmail.com for custom clothes, accessories, and digital products as well. DJ Panthro, he's an international DJ, and if you want to book for him to come to your venue, email him at djpanthro519@gmail.com. That's DJ Panthro, PANTHRO 519@gmail.com. And also, you need to like, subscribe, and share to his YouTube page, DJ Panthro 519. There you'll find his website link, which you have clothes and lots of clothes and accessories. DJ Panthro 519 on YouTube. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and check out his website link. Also, he's on Instagram and TikTok, The Real DJ Panthro. Again, that's The Real DJ Panthro on TikTok. Music, Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. You have a whole wide range of different beats. So once you go to his YouTube channel, you will see his other social media sites. Like, subscribe, and share to Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. And Continuing to Train on YouTube is the Greatness 19 channel. That's our educational channel to open up your third eye. A lot of great information on the Greatness 19 channel. Don't underestimate that. Also, Mr. Evolution of London, that's our health and wellness channel. I need your guys to also check that out as well. Like, subscribe, and share to Mr. Evolution of London, health and wellness channel on YouTube. Kenzo Gang, formerly known as Kenzo World, but now it's Kenzo Gang. For the latest Afro beats, music, videos, Kenzo Gang, expanding worldwide. And if you want to book for him to come to your venue, email him at morekenzo@gmail.com. That's more, MOOR, Kenzo, KEENZO @gmail.com. All his music you'll find on all the major platforms, which is Google, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, just to name a few. His single Adora, and he have new release songs also on Kenzo Gang. That's Kenzo, KINZOGANG on YouTube. So I need your guys to like, subscribe, and share to Kenzo Gang. Now the Oracle 19 is on all major platforms. We're on iHeartRadio, Google, Apple, Spotify for creators, Amazon Music, just to name a few. Any information I haven't mentioned will be in the description box of the Oracle 19 podcast, the Greatness 19 channel, Mr. Evolution of London, also rumble.com. Just type in the Oracle 19, and finally www.theoracle19radio.com. Well, today's topic is about schools now and then. Schools back in the days, how schools are back in the days. Now, I might sound old, back in my day, it wasn't like that. My day was better than yours. I'm gonna try not to go down that rabbit hole per se, but it holds a lot of truth, though. Sorry to say, I know my parents said that about my generation. I'm saying about the generation after, but the school system is clearly going downhill. That's something we all can admit. Whether it's now and then, it's just free falling in a terrible way. It's different. And I'm gonna break it down, give my perspective. Again, this is my perspective of how the school system from yesteryears to now. Let's start with one: the discipline in schools. Now, I'm stating the obvious. Many moons ago, in my time, many moons ago, I know if I was out of order talking, especially in the auditorium, and I remember kids, you had to be quiet while teachers was talking in the auditorium, whether it was for an event or a play we was watching, whatever event. But if you was talking, it wasn't far-fetched for the principal to take his belt and give you lashes. Now, I never seen that. I think I seen a couple of times the principal taking his belt, beating the kid, and had him in the. I know one teacher, one principal of mine, Mr. Alexander. I recall I was in elementary school. I think I was like grade 1 or grade 2. And he, kid was talking. His name was Lionel. And Mr. Alexander took his hand and spanked him on his backside just to embarrass him, and dragged him in. And it was in the auditorium, about 200 school kids, and had him and yelled at him and put him in the corner. We knew Mr. Alexander was a no nonsense guy, so yeah, he put him in the corner, and everybody was that a few people that was talking. He pulled them in front of everyone, made the children stand in different corners of the auditorium with their face pointed against the wall for at least about a half an hour. Total embarrassment. Mr. Alexander will get total jail time today. He not only will be fired, he will be ostracized. His name will be put on social media. He will be the worst of the worst. He couldn't get no job anywhere. Now, I could probably talk about this because most likely he's dead. And, and even if he's still alive, he's old. He was like 60 something then. I mean, yeah, he's old. He's gone, So if any child services want to come after him, they probably have to go to the grave and then argue with him, that type of thing. But it's, again, a different era. Now, it's hard to be a teacher. And by the way, this disclosure, really, my daughter actually put me on to this topic. And I thank her, actually. She put me on to this. Put dear old dad and gave me a topic to talk about. Thank you, little one. Appreciate it. But yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's my heart anyway. But anyway, well, it's not the only heart. I have to put that disclosure. I don't want to get them all jealous. You making one better than the other. No, relax. Relax. I love you all. Anyway, she want me to give her name out. They're like, Dad, I don't want my name out there, Dad. And I get it. All right. Because with AI and all this technology, they don't want to be out there like that. But she put me onto this, and I'm talking about that. The discipline in schools is clearly different. I mean, right now, you can't even, if you look at the child in this day and time, Just your look, if it's a dirty look the teacher's giving the student for, even if the student is out of pocket, if you give the child a look, a dirty look, that could be considered bullying. And then that teacher could get fired off of staring at the child hard, and the child feels uncomfortable, and it's stupid in my opinion. You're in school, it's a certain level of discipline, but that's we just warming up in terms of the discipline. I'm not even getting into, just walk with me. It's, as a parent, and I'm sure a lot of you parents can understand this, there's no rules, there's no parameters. How are you going to set any parameters? How can you, as a teacher or school professional, how can you establish some type of discipline and authority when you can't even institute just rules? You dress code for the most part, especially public school system. We're not talking about if it's Catholic or private school where there are maybe certain dress codes, but you got kids dressing weird, really out there. Now they did that in the yesteryears too, but there was still more family structure, so children did dress much better back then. If you look in the 1920s and 30s, now obviously not obviously, you don't know, but I wasn't born then. Even though the joke was placed upon me by family members, I would say that, what was the joke? He told me a joke. It was recently. The Bible, what was it? The Bible wasn't a religious book for you. The Bible actually is a yearbook for you, because all your friends passed away and you're the only one living. I said that is mad disrespectful. So I say it again. They said that the Bible the Bible's not a religious book for you, Mr. Greatness. And I'm paraphrasing it when it was said. Because all your friends passed away in the Bible, you're the only one still living, and it's really a yearbook for you. It's not a history book for you, it's a yearbook for you. I like, you mother, you son of a, crazy disrespectful. It was laughable moment. I just took it in stride. It's all good. Look, you grow with time, wisdom, age. You're supposed to bring experience, life experiences, and wisdom. It's a beautiful thing. You age with grace and style and class and etc., etc., etc. But let's continue with the disciplines in school, which is none. So how can these teachers, back then it was more corporal punishment, and there's strict rules and dress codes, and the teachers was highly respected, their names, Mr. So-and-so, even though it's still implemented today to a certain degree, Mr. So-and-so, but not really. I mean, students call teachers by their first name. Okay, Mike. Hey, Mike, how you doing? And a lot of times it's what the teachers really try to project, because they want to build not only being a teacher, student, but also like a friend or mentor. So years ago is more strict, bottom line. Now, what's emphasized is on mental health of the student. you look at the student the wrong way. I feel bullied. You know, I need to take some pills, or I need to smoke my vape. My vape. VAPE. Yes, I said it. Vape, to calm me down. Cause I feel hurt right now. I feel sensitive. Too much work. I can't handle it. My students is bullying me. I don't know what to do. Knock them out. Back in days, yo, look at me. I'm looking at you. What? We fight after school, and then beat that kid's behind, or let them know that it's not going to be a good look fighting you, and the next day they're not going to be staring you down because they know you will fight. But again, that's back in days versus now. So now is about student rights. You know, my right as a student. I could be wherever I want to be. And that's where the trans community and homosexuality in general creep in. And it does creep in. Even students at a young age. They 6, 7 years old and talk about saying I'm gay. You barely know how. You just been potty trained 2 years ago, and you saying you old enough and grown enough to say you gay at 7. Come on, this don't make. Does this make sense? And the kids will say at 7, "Mommy, you can't talk to me this way. I got rights too." And if you as the parent talk to or the teacher for that matter, you talk to the student or the child a certain way, and they want to complain and their student rights, they want to go to a higher authority and let them know their rights have been infringed at 7 or 10. You just learn how to pee straight, but you got rights. You don't pay no bills. You don't owe a home. You don't even have the money to buy your own clothes. But you got student rights. Come on, let's make sense of this. You got rights at 7? Or how about 10? I'm even up it for you. At 14, you got rights? You in my house, but you got rights. Some people say you got rights to be clotheslined. Some people will say that. You got rights to be clotheslined if you don't listen to authority. You got rights. Some people will say you got rights to be hung. I'm just saying, I'm being a little facetious here. There's a little satire, little jokes here, so don't take it seriously. I don't want nobody like, you say you're gonna beat up and kill kids. This is just a little entertainment, but you understand what I mean. I hope so. But rights, I'm pulling it back. I'm gonna bring it back to the schools. Can't discipline. Zero tolerance for bullying and violence. Being bullied brings the character out of you. Either you sink or swim. I know I was bullied every now and then. And remember in 5th grade, into a new school. And yeah, I remember this guy. Name was Wyatt. And he bullying me. I was into the new school, fresh into new school, didn't know anyone, and new fish on the block. So he just kept on picking on me, just saying, talking stuff, and it's like first, again, I'm trying to get situated in the school. I felt uncomfortable. He just made jokes, people laughing at me. One day I just said, you know what? Damn this. I'm going to address this right now. Lunch period. We're going to address this right now. So he said what he said. And I said, I got into his face. I said, you popping all of that stuff now. I didn't say those words, but we're going to keep it rated G. Let's talk all that stuff now. Now what? And then I'm looking around and I see people like smiling, like, oh, Mr. Greatness not gonna do anything. Teacher was there and she kind of smirked. And I looked at people and they was all smirking. Man, I gave him the fist of God. I read back my right arm. Red. Yeah, it's a little bit of exaggeration, but it holds true because I cocked my arm back. I remember that. And I just gave him square in the jaw. Did not miss. On target. Landing. True story. I was thinking I was in grade 5 or grade 6, one or two. I think grade 5. But anyway, yeah, it was grade 5 because I entered the school from a different school. Cocked my right fist back. Kadal, right square in the jaw. Knocked him down, knocked his glasses off. As soon as I did it, my teacher, big old woman though, I didn't know she moved that fast. Miss Downey. She moved quick for a big woman. As soon as I did it and seen him on the ground, this was in the classroom. This was during break. And she grabbed me and she basically dragged my body. I'm like my body was flinging over the place because she just grabbed me by the shirt and fling me in the bathroom and the bathroom fountain, and the fountain tilted over because she slammed me there, and she pointed her finger and said, "You're going to be suspended for fighting." And yeah, I was suspended for that day. I was for the rest of the day and the day after. And when I think it was maybe a 2-day suspension. Yeah, well, you count the day one when it happened and the following day. So about 2 or 3 days suspension. I forgot. But when I came back, yeah, I was like a hero. I was like, guys didn't mess with me. It was like, yo, don't mess with him. He'll fight back. I got a reputation of no nonsense. And didn't have to get into a fight ever again. And yeah, that reputation's carried over from elementary school, and when I moved out to junior high school and high school, that kicked off. People told new people don't mess with him, and I was quiet. I didn't bully anyone and stuff, but they just said don't underestimate him. Then the story just started growing. they just started growing. They made me like a Bruce Lee, and I didn't really know martial arts. I didn't know martial arts back then, and I didn't even know martial arts in junior high school and stuff. And I started taking that seriously in like in upper high school. Well, let me see. I started practicing that when it was like 13 and stuff, but really taking it more serious, going to a dojo and really training harder when I got into college. But it was light work in high school, but nobody knew that. I wasn't no Bruce Lee or anything like that. I wasn't even Bruce Leroy. But yeah, it just grew. Just like from that point, they said, don't mess with him. He might, chop you. He might punch you in the face. He's super. I was gonna say, yeah, he's just Superman. I'm just putting it like that. But I had something else in my mind. But anyway, it was just hyped up. They hyped me up so much. They made me seem like, this guy, had kryptonite in his fist. Don't mess with. But it was just from that point. I know I gave a long-winded story of my chronicles, but bullying is part of school life, and sometimes you got to fight your way out of it. But if it gets into the gun game or knife game, of course, school guy jump in, yada yada yada. That's not acceptable. But school is a reality. You're not going to have all good people in school. You're going to have some people that's very troubled and very bad. But growing up, you had to fight your way. Now it's all about mental health. So disciplines in school definitely changed. Teaching methods also and is definitely different. I know then the chalkboard, teachers using the chalkboard and you taking down lots of notes. Textbooks was heavy with a capital H. I from grade 1 all the way to high school. It was all my book bag always bust open, was tearing. At least I always had to get by 2 book bags a year. The beginning of the school year in September, like at least from September to January or February, then I know I had to buy a new one because textbooks was heavy. I always had at least on average, about 4 textbooks I had to carry minimum a day. And lots of homework. I know when I got home, it was around 3:20, 3:30. Let's just say that. Immediately, I just grab a little bite to eat. And I'm sure you older heads can understand this and relate to this. I just washed up, grab a bite to eat, say hi to the family, and sat at my table, dining room table, and got cracking. And usually my homework, real talk, took about, and this was just basic everyday work, math, reading assignments, and history assignments, and writing assignments or essays. On the average, it was about 2.5 to 3 hours of straight homework. I mean, just straight homework, no messing around, no watching TV, just doing the homework. And yeah, it was math. I know what math problems, page or 2, that took me about 45 minutes to complete. Yeah, the homework was it was tight. It took me to complete all of my homework for the day 2 to 3 hours. I remember that because around 5:30, 6 o'clock, that's when I usually had free time. I'm finished my homework, and then I could go out and play. And I'm speaking of like when I was like, 7, 8, 9, 10. Especially in the fall. It was, and again, I'm giving you my chronicles, but I'm tying into today. So just walk with me. So yeah, I was able to play at, it's school night, maybe for about 2 hours out from 6, maybe 5:36, about an hour or two tops. Being because it gets dark early, so if I'm lucky, maybe an hour in before it gets really pitch dark, and then I got coming, give or take. Play in front of the window where my mom can see me, type of thing. And then dad comes home from work. He'd be home about 7:30ish, type of thing. And that was like Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, especially Fridays. Yeah, similar thing. But Saturday and Sundays was the all day thing. But the homework assignments that is now, there aren't no homework assignments. They say, well, don't want to put pressure on the students or kids, and give them time to be one within themselves, and we don't want to make them all mentally tired and yada yada yada. And it was a lot of memorization with homework, and I thought it built great character for the generation that had that work, memorization. The standards of teaching was definitely different. Now, digital boards, AI powered education, work that is really on critical thinking, and not even much really is critical thinking. You don't really get no homework. Our kids nowadays, they don't receive homework. It's nothing. More high tech nowadays. So the children nowadays don't really learn anything. They don't get no homework. They don't really have to think a lot. So, and then you have opportunities to make up your work online. So it's less interaction with teacher and student. Nowadays with Chat GPT and other AI platforms, you can do homework on your own. You can get help getting assignments with Chat GPT and other AI. So it's not really no learning, no one-on-one. Smartphone and smart this, it's at your fingertips. The yesteryears, there wasn't no internet. You have to, if you want to research, you have to go to the library. A lot of us had to go to the library and use encyclopedias and retrieve our information. There were certain assignments, sometime I had to go to the neighborhood library and actually dig up the work. There's no internet. You just had to go there and retrieve it, sit down and actually, let's say it was something on George Washington, you had to go and get the encyclopedia and look in the W section for all my old heads. The W section for Washington. And then you go through that and look at, it might be George Washington or page 5, but it might be another George, or like George Washington Carver. It might be Brad George or Brad Washington. I'm just making up names. You have to go page by page, and then you will see the section of George Washington, president, one of the first presidents, one of the presidents, I should say, and then the history about him, and then you have to write about him if it was an essay that needs to be done on George Washington. I'm using that as an example. Many times I had to go and walk a couple blocks to the neighborhood library, and you see a whole bunch of kids there. They have to do the same thing, or some of them they're just playing around, and or that was also a hangout spot too, but or if they maybe their mom couldn't afford to take them to a babysitter or daycare, they tell the child after school, you go to the library and sit there until 6 o'clock until I get there and pick you up. And usually the library will be open until about 6, maybe 7 anyway, depending what part of the city you're from. And I'm speaking of New York particularly, but this could be anywhere in the United States in that time frame. But again, it's different. You don't need to go to the library. Libraries is pretty much empty nowadays because you have your laptop. You can go to the actual library website. But nowadays, you don't even have to go that deep. You have AI, and it could generate history of George Washington. Or you can Google. You can get information. You don't have to go to the library. I couldn't tell you the last time I stepped foot in the library. Most libraries a lot of them shut down because I don't, maybe one day I might have to go to the library just to see who's there, just to see what they got. There ain't nothing really going on. I really don't see. They do got libraries sprinkled around, but what they do nowadays? That's what I'm trying to figure out, because you can get all your information, obviously, on the internet. So that's something I'm really going to look into. How these libraries, what they do. Maybe older heads that go there just for the nostalgia type of thing, just to say I'm there. But I don't see the younger generation. They got the smartphones and they don't have the patience like that. I don't see them making that move. But anyway, that's that part of it, the difference between now and then. Also, the technology in the educational system is obviously different. Obviously. My day, I started learning computers in high school. Typewriters, doing that in high school. And I mentioned encyclopedias for research. Again, now, some of these schools, these high schools and elementary schools and junior high schools, they already have laptops for each student. There's Google Classrooms, AI tutors, other online learning platforms like Khan Academy or Coursera or something like that. Cousera. Well, anyway, there's learning platforms that you can really indulge into. So, typewriters, handwritten notes, even writing in script. What they call it, cursive handwriting. Another word for that. They don't even do that now. You think people are still, signing signatures, learn how to write and write actually, and they call it cursive. handwriting or a script. I call it script. I can still write that in script. I can still write things in script, but that is so obsolete. Nowadays, people just if they have to write a notice in print. They don't teach script in high school or elementary school nowadays. You don't get that part of learning in terms of writing. I think children nowadays, they are lacking. They need to have etiquette classes, business classes. I'm talking about it starting off in elementary school. Etiquette. Men, boys and girls know how to carry themselves as future adults. Both genders need to learn how to be a man and how to be a woman, and duties, respect, honor, moral standards. They need to have a class or classes on that, because the attitude, and they're not getting it obviously from home, so they are missing out. The behavior, this all builds character, and students' behavior is trash because they don't know how to respect authority, nor do they. And it starts from home. They distracted, they have their phones. Their phones is glued to their hip. We're talking in school. There's no strong community values. Because again, the family life is very fractured. And now with the increase of social media, mental health awareness, and also there's more distractions. Cyberbullying is a concern. I have to say this, in my time, well, we didn't have the internet, but cyberbullying. You mean to tell me if I'm on Facebook and you on Facebook and you call me a jerk, and you say you hate me? That's cyberbullying. Now I need I got mental health issues, or I need to be coached up or see a counselor because a person said something online about me. It got to that point. Being mentally weak. I can't function. I can't take my exam today because someone cyber bullied me, called me a name on social media. Now I can't take my test, Mr. Jones. I'm feeling hurt right now. I'm feeling helpless right now. Because somebody looked at me very, very mean, or actually said something very, very mean to me. Well, Johnny, what they say to you? I hate you. Is anything else they said? No, they just said, I hate you. And that made me feel, not only, Mr. Jones, that made me feel uncomfortable, but I think I need to get some counseling. I can't take my exam until further notice. This is what the type of time we on now. It's pitiful. The value of education is different. You know, college, you strive to go to college, seem like a golden ticket for success. Trade school and being an apprenticeship program, common thing these days. Those days, I should say, back in the days. Now, due to the fact of, student loan crises, cost of going to college is tripled now. It's just Went to university first year. It's about $3,000 a year. Maybe $6,000 for the whole year. But now that same university, what, about $25,000 a year. So, and kids can't afford to pay that. You're talking about for 4 years, you got to pay $100,000, not including books now. That is going to be like $5,000 for a semester. Where you going to get that? And then you're going to major in art on top of that? Nah, man. Many people can't go to school. You paying $100,000 a year. You got to bill $100,000 a year. You better be some type of professional making six figures. And even you do, it's going to take you a couple of years, like 4 or 5 years, to really clear off that debt while you working and climbing up the corporate ladder. So it got to make sense. So the value of education is clearly different as well. What do you think? Should schools return to old school discipline, or is the modern education better? Do you think technology is helping or hurting students today? So what's your experience? What do you prefer how school should, or how school was for you back in the days, or now, if you're in the now? What do you think? It doesn't have meaning. Is Mr. Greatness off? Or is he on point? What say you? Like, subscribe, and share to the Oracle 19 podcast. News is Sundays, and our show here is Monday and Thursdays, all pre-recorded. Also, subscribe to the Greatness 19 channel, Mr. Evolution of London. And also check in the description box. There's products, services that you can seriously look at, and incorporate that in your life. So until the next time, stay strong. And again, this is my perspective. And if you have a topic you want me to talk about, you can email me at evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. Once again, at evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. If you have a topic you want me to talk about, just send the email and we see if it makes sense, and we might put it out. I might put it out if it makes sense, because I get a lot of emails every day. So you take care. Stay strong. Students now and then.